Welcome on into the channel. This is Brews and Studs, and I first want to thank you for your support, members of the chapter, for watching this video. And then for you non-members, you know it is very easy to become a member, which is to hit that subscribe button. The reason why you should hit that subscribe button is yours truly provides intense and exhaustive reviews on Horus Heresy as well as Warhammer 40k action figures. And it could be argued that I likely have one of the most extensive black libraries that contain Warhammer 40k as well as Horus Heresy action figure reviews. Now let's quickly talk about some of my first impressions of the Primarch of the Alpha Legion. When the promo pictures of Alpharius was released, I was immediately taken by the high level of detail on this action figure, especially that is found in the turquoise blue, highly texturized scale mail of the armor. The first thing that popped in my head was, wow, I think we have a very serious contender for the Action Figure of the Year award for 2025. But there's only one real way to determine if this action figure would be deserving of a nomination by going into the review. Very nice. Oh, sorry, I didn't notice you there at first, but I wanted to interrupt this action figure review by bringing you a very special message from our sponsor, which is JoyToy. JoyToy is a fantastic online website to get your Warhammer 40k as well as Horus Heresy action figures. In my opinion, they have the cleanest website in order to find your action figures at one click of a button. And for us US residents, we're talking about tariffs over here. And in some crazy way, JoyToy has been able to give us fast free shipping and tariffless too. So that is one thing that you all need to keep in mind when you're buying these lovely action figures that you see behind me. And before you check out, do not forget to use the code SNS for 12% off of your purchase, because we need to keep that money back in our wallets so that we can spend more money on these lovely plastic crack figures. So at any rate, sorry for the interruption, and let's dive right back into the review. First of all, unlike his other brothers, I am slightly saddened that Alpharius does not come with a bareheaded version, but I suppose this is to mask the true identity of this mysterious Primarch. However, that being said, his helmet is packed full of delicious flavors and decorations. The thing that I really like about this helmet is that the Hydra head and neck are seamlessly integrated into the helmet. I find it interesting that Alpharius does possess some sort of prominent Voxcom, which takes up quite a lot of real estate on the helmet. And then the red gem, while small and diminutive, provides a striking contrast against the green and turquoise color. The pauldrons have an impressive amount of tasty detailing associated with it, because you can see the green Hydra that has been highlighted up a metallic silver color. The tops of the shoulder pads have the unique scale armor patterning, which I think is quite impressive. The alternating turquoise and gunmetal patterning truly gives this action figure a lot of definition. The right side of Alpharius clearly has more of this studded leather fringe on him compared to the slightly more sparse left-hand side. What I also find interesting is that the bicep area has a smooth metallic armor, which contrasts against the highly textural scale mail of the rest of the armor. Focusing in on the chest and torso area, Alpharius's armor, the Pythian scales, is truly in another league compared to the other Horus Heresy Primarchs that have been released. This, I believe, is the first time we're seeing scale armor that is derived from the Alpha Legion's patron mascot. Again, not only does this action figure have extra seasoning from the scales, but the iridescent turquoise color makes the armor quite phenomenally appetizing. On top of that, the armor in the chest area has this layered terracing, which provides for more definition and prominent effect. The soft armor region of the torso also has a ton of detail, with this fascinating looking ribbing that alternates between gunmetal and black. About the waist area, front and center stage, is the Alpha Legion buckle, which is then flanked by the highly texturized brown loincloth. There appears to be some subtle shading that is going on in the folds of the fabric, or in this case plastic,
I also love how the chains on the Hydra head have been dry brushed a metallic silver color. The more definition that you can pack into an action figure, the better in my opinion. On Alpharius' left side, there is a functional holster for Hydra Spite. I also like how you can secure the gun in the holster right here by folding over this plastic strap. Then on the right side are Venom Spheres, which are a nice metallic green color, which blends in quite nicely with the theme of this action figure. Legs-wise is truly where you get to see the Pythian scales in their full dragon-like glory. The texturing and detail is astounding to me, and I would argue this might be one of the most highly decorated action figures in the Warhammer universe. As I said, the gunmetal banding provides contrast against the metallic turquoise armor. On the right knee, there is an added seasoning of Alpharius' Legion number of 20, and then the left one boasts a ornate decoration. The back of the calf area also has this terracing that is found on the Space Wolves action figures in the Horus Heresy, which is a good thing in my opinion, as it is not just one flat suit of armor. So this gigantic voluminous cape is sadly anchored by these two areas up here. It really makes me wonder about the stability of this connection. However, I do like how the cape is subtly shaded a tan color in the folds of the fabric. As I have said before, if there is one thing that JoyToy does well, that is capes, and this is no exception to that rule. It is also nice that the lower part of the cape is outlined with this green Hydra patterning. Then on the flip side is contrasting gray color with more shading as well. Now this here is a backpack. I really love how it looks because you have these wicked looking Hydra heads that within the maw are vents for the armor. The metallic highlighting is especially striking here as well. However, on top of the backpack there's a section that reminds me of gears, which I am curious as to know what the function of this area is. With regard to the pale spear, there are very ornate spear tips, with the main one being this two-pronged one, and the other one is single-tipped. I am slightly disappointed that the shaft of the spear is rather plain looking in that there's no highlighting nor shading that is happening, which makes the spear look a little bit too two-dimensional and flat. Upon closer inspection, it appears that the green has some metallic flake in it, so at least there's some extra detail, but still falls flat. The Hydra Spite is classified as a plasma weapon, and you can clearly see that because of the metallic blue coils that dominate the center of the gun. The rest of the gun is clearly a metallic green, but contrasting against the spear, there is loads of shading that can be found all over the weapon. I really like this added dimension because it really makes the gun pop and come to life to me. So with regard to Alpharius' movement, I will let you know that there are no restrictions about the head, the shoulders right here, the arms, legs, knees, and ankles, which is pretty much the whole entire figure. While there are no issues between the chest and the torso area, you can rotate this section 360 degrees. However, the same cannot be said about the torso to waist area. Because I don't really want to break my figure, it would appear that you can only achieve a 45-degree rotation in this area, which is rather puzzling to me, because I don't really see exactly what is causing this blockage. But again, I'm still glad that we are able to achieve 360-degree movement in this chest area. Well, members of the chapter, please let me know what you thought about the Primarch of the Alpha Legion in the comment section below. Do you think that this is going to be a must-buy for your collection, or do you think this is something that you're going to pass it on? And of course, I will let you know what I thought about him right now. First of all, we are starting off the Alpha Legion releases with an explosion of tremendous tasty goodness. If the rest of the action figures are as delectable as Alpharius, then Alpha Legion fans are going to be eating good, and probably not eating that much in real life, just because all of your money are going to be spent on this delicious plastic crack. I think that this action figure is absolutely incredible looking due to the details on this armor, such as the unique metallic turquoise gloss coloration and the scales that cover most of the Pythian scales. I suppose the only thing that I found lacking was this very flat looking pale spear that I mentioned during the review, but other than that, My vote is Alpharius is a must-buy for all Horus Heresy action figure lovers as well as Alpha Legion fans themselves. I further believe that we have a very strong contender for action figure of the year for 2025, but we shall see how this year progresses. Anyways, I want to thank you all for watching, and I do appreciate your support so very much. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next one.